Leo, something strange has been stirring in your heart lately. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, but it's constant. Like a slow ache you can't explain. Like a voice inside you whispering that someone important is slipping away. And the most haunting part, they don't see it. They're still laughing with you, still texting, still showing up, but something in your soul knows. This connection is quietly dying. And here's the truth. This isn't a random emotional phase. This isn't just you being sensitive. This is the universe creating space. And you, the Leo with cosmic intuition, the lion-hearted visionary, are one of the few who can feel it before it happens. You've always been the first to sense emotional misalignment. You've always known when someone's energy no longer matches yours, even before the physical signs appear. And that's exactly what this is. A silent goodbye has already begun. A cosmic contract is ending. But instead of reacting in pain or confusion, I want you to understand what's really happening and why it's your soul, not your mind, that's guiding this separation. Because what's ahead of you is sacred. This video is not here to hurt you. It's here to awaken you, to show you why this person, the one you've held on to, defended, forgiven, loved, is now being slowly spiritually removed from your journey. And if you stay with me until the very end, I'll show you how this ending is not just necessary. It's the doorway to your next destiny. Are you ready to see the truth behind what you're feeling? Then let's begin. Part 1. The invisible wall that's been rising. At first you brushed it off. That weird tension in the room, the way they hesitated before replying, the long pauses, the shorter messages, the quiet distractions. It wasn't obvious, not enough to confront, but just enough to make your Leo heart feel something was off. You told yourself they were tired. You convinced yourself you were overthinking. You made excuses for them because that's what you do when you care. You fight to keep the warmth alive. But deep down, Leo, you already knew. Something subtle was shifting. Not loud, not visible, but energetic. It felt like an invisible wall was slowly rising between you and them, brick by brick. And you couldn't stop it. Not because you didn't try, you always do, but because this wall wasn't built by arguments or misunderstandings. It was built by evolution, by energetic misalignment, by two souls growing in different directions, one of them being you. The truth is, your light has changed. Your frequency has risen. Your soul has matured. And as your energy shifted, their presence began to feel heavier, duller, distant. This is why the conversation started feeling empty, why the laughter didn't hit the same, why you felt alone even in their company. You were no longer speaking the same soul language. They haven't noticed yet, but you, Leo, the child of the sun, you felt every inch of that growing silence. Because you don't just see with your eyes, you feel with your entire aura. And right now, your aura is telling you the truth your mind is afraid to say. This connection has already begun to dissolve. And that invisible wall, it's not punishment, it's protection. It's the universe gently preparing you for a necessary goodbye. Life lesson: the longer you deny the subtle signs, the harder the separation becomes. But when you honor the shifts you feel, even the ones that hurt you, reclaim your power as a conscious soul, not just a loyal heart. Part 2. Your Leo heart knew this first. Long before anything changed on the outside, you felt it. Not in your head, not in your logic, but in the deepest part of your being, the place only Leo hearts can access. Because here's what the world forgets. Leo doesn't just love with intensity, Leo senses with intensity. You don't just walk into a room and notice the people. You feel the temperature of their soul. You feel when someone is pulling away, even if they're still smiling. And when the heart of a Leo starts to ache quietly, it's rarely wrong. That ache isn't drama. It isn't neediness. It's a cosmic alert, an ancient mechanism built into your Zodiac DNA, a warning from your solar nature. This connection is no longer aligned with your truth. And Leo, that's exactly what's been happening. Your heart, ruled by the sun itself, picked up on the shift weeks before your mind did. That's why you started dreaming about separation. That's why songs started hitting differently. That's why being around this person started feeling off. They haven't changed drastically, but the resonance between you is gone. What once flowed naturally now feels forced, and every time you try to bring back the magic, you feel more alone. It's not that you're broken, it's that your soul is stepping into a new frequency, one that this person, as important as they've been, can't reach. That's the paradox of being a Leo. You're ruled by the heart, but your heart is also the antenna for higher truth. And while the world sees you as bold, fiery, expressive, your real power lies in your sensitivity to energy. You are the first to feel what no one else sees, the first to mourn a connection before it ends, the first to let go not out of weakness but out of knowing. Life lesson: true strength isn't in holding on. It's in recognizing when something beautiful has reached its highest point and letting it end with dignity before it turns into something that dims your light. Part 3: The Cosmic Separation Contract. Before you ever met them, before the first conversation, the first smile, the first bond, your soul already knew how this story would unfold. Yes, Leo, this connection you're about to lose, was never meant to last forever. It was meant to awaken something in you, to reflect something about you, to teach you a piece of your purpose. And once that sacred exchange was complete, the contract began to dissolve. We don't talk about this enough. We think every person who enters our life is supposed to stay. But in truth, some people are not destinations, they are bridges. Bridges that were meant to carry us across a specific phase of our evolution, and then disappear. And here's where it gets painful. Your human self didn't sign up for this pain, but your soul did. Because your soul, Leo, is committed to growth, even when your heart is committed to love. This person, whether a friend, a lover, a mentor, a sibling, played a divine role in your journey. And now that role has been completed, not because something went wrong, but because something higher is calling you forward. The universe doesn't take people away to punish you. It clears the path for your next level. And when that time comes, it sends signals. First through emotions, then through dreams, then through synchronicities, delays, miscommunications, emotional distance. And if we still don't listen, the universe will do what it must to honor the soul's contract, even if the ego fights it. You've reached that moment now, Leo. Your spiritual signature is shifting, and everything not in alignment with it must be cleared. This is not abandonment. This is sacred release. It's not rejection, it's realignment. Life lesson: some people are not meant to walk your entire path only to meet you at one chapter and help you turn the page. The pain of letting go becomes sacred when you understand that their exit was always written into your story. Part 4: The Emotional Cost of Letting Go First. There's a quiet kind of heartbreak that not everyone understands. It's not the pain of being abandoned. It's not the agony of betrayal. It's the weight of being the one who knows before the other does, of feeling the end before it's visible, of loving someone, even as your soul whispers it's time to let go. That's the emotional burden, Leo, and right now it's yours to carry. Because while they're still texting you like nothing's wrong, you're already grieving. While they're still making plans, you're silently saying goodbye. And the hardest part, you can't even explain it to them. They wouldn't understand. How do you explain to someone that the connection is fading, not because you stopped caring, but because your spirit is being pulled somewhere they can't follow? You're not angry, you're not dramatic, you're just heartbroken in advance. Because being the one who lets go first isn't a power move, it's an emotional wound. It's lying awake at night, wondering if maybe you're wrong, if maybe you should fight harder, if maybe, just maybe, you're walking away too soon. But Leo, hear this. You're not letting go out of fear. You're letting go out of wisdom. And wisdom often hurts more than denial. You're choosing your evolution over your comfort. You're honoring the subtle shifts that others ignore. You're choosing truth even when it comes wrapped in grief. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's lonely. But it's also the most courageous act of love you can offer yourself. You're not betraying the connection. You're simply releasing it before it turns into a prison. Life lesson: sometimes the deepest strength lies not in holding on, but in being the first to say, this chapter is complete even when your heart still aches for one more page. Part 5: The Hidden Blessing in the Goodbye. What if this heartbreak wasn't breaking you? What if it was breaking something open? Leo, you've always loved with fire, with loyalty, with fullness. You give your heart without filters, and when you bond for life. So when you feel a connection slipping, it feels like you're being asked to rip away a piece of your soul. But here's the sacred truth that only those on the path of awareness ever discover. Every goodbye carries a hidden blessing, but only the brave, the conscious, the evolved ever receive it. The blessing isn't in the pain, it's in what the pain is making room for. You see, when the universe removes someone from your journey, it's not trying to punish you, it's trying to position you. Because your heart, your true Leo heart, has outgrown this dynamic. This person, no matter how important, can no longer match your vibration. Their energy may have once supported your light, but now it dims it. And so the universe, in its infinite compassion, is clearing the stage for a new alignment. One that reflects the version of you that has emerged quietly through every heartbreak, every triumph, every moment of self-reclamation. You're not losing love, you're making space for truer love. For connection that doesn't require you to shrink. For people who don't fear your brightness. For relationships that hold your soul, not just your surface. This isn't an ending, it's a recalibration, a return to your core frequency. And once this separation completes, something unexpected will begin. You'll feel lighter, more honest, more yourself. As if you've been released from a contract your spirit had long outgrown. Because Leo, not every bond is meant to be eternal, but every goodbye has the power to bring you closer to your eternal truth. Life lesson: goodbyes hurt, but the soul doesn't mourn endings, it celebrates alignment. And when you let go with love, the universe sends you something more powerful than comfort. It sends you truth. Part 6.3. Things you must not do. Leo, I know your instinct is to fight for what matters, to protect what you've built, to keep holding on even when the thread is fraying. But this time, this is not a battle you're meant to win, it's a surrender you're meant to honor. So listen closely, because there are 3 traps waiting for your heart right now. And if you fall into them, the pain will only grow sharper and the lesson will repeat. 1. Don't chase closure from someone who can't see the ending. They don't feel what you feel. They don't see the wall rising between you. They're still playing the same role, unaware that the stage has already been dismantled. Trying to make them understand will only exhaust you. They're not withholding closure. They're simply not on the same energetic timeline. Let go of the need for explanation. Your intuition is the only closure you need. 2. Don't cling to the past version of the connection. You keep replaying the memories, the laughter, the deep talks, the way they used to show up. But that version of them no longer exists. Clinging to the past is like trying to breathe in a room where the air has already been used up. It's over, not because it wasn't beautiful, but because it already served its sacred purpose. Honor what was, but stop dragging it into what is. 3. Don't dim your light to delay the separation. This is the most dangerous of all. You may start shrinking, playing small, making yourself less radiant, just to keep them comfortable, just to slow down the departure. But Leo, your soul didn't come here to shrink. It came here to shine. And if someone must leave when you rise, so be it. You were not created to lower your flame for someone else's fear. Life lesson: you protect your power, not by fighting harder, but by walking away when the energy no longer honors your truth. Every time you choose alignment over attachment, you say yes to your next miracle. Part 7. The souls you're now attracting, now that the energy is clearing, now that the silence has settled and the goodbye is almost complete. A shift is happening, Leo. Subtle at first, but real. You're going to start noticing it in the smallest ways. A stranger who feels instantly familiar, a conversation that cuts deeper than usual, a new face that looks at you and really sees you. These are not coincidences. They're echoes of the new frequency you've stepped into. Because here's the truth, no one tells you. When you let go of a connection that's no longer aligned, you become a magnet for the ones that are. You didn't lose love. You cleared space for love that sees you in your fullness, not just your function. You didn't lose someone who mattered. You released someone whose season had ended, so that someone else, someone soul-chosen, could begin. And the people you're about to attract, they'll speak the same heart language. They won't need explanations for your intensity. They'll feel you and love you for exactly what you are, a soul of fire with a royal spirit. You'll no longer feel the need to shrink, to translate your emotions, to convince someone to meet you where you naturally live in truth, in presence, in passion. These new souls will arrive not with force, but with flow, not with confusion, but with clarity. And for the first time in a long time, you'll feel like you don't have to fight for emotional safety. It will just be there, not because you begged for it, but because you became it. You are now aligned with relationships that don't just want your light, they match it. Life lesson: when you release what no longer matches your soul, you don't just lose people, you make space for your true tribe. And what's coming next isn't just connection, it's recognition. Conclusion: release with grace, you were chosen to end it. Leo, not everyone has the courage to end something that still looks good on the outside, but feels wrong on the inside. Not everyone can say, "This no longer matches who I'm becoming." and walk away not in bitterness, but in truth. But you can, because you were chosen not to break things, but to break cycles. This separation wasn't an accident, it wasn't a punishment, it was a soul assignment, and you fulfilled it. You held space, you loved deeply, you gave chances, you listened to your higher self, and when the time came, you let go with wisdom. And that's why your next chapter will be different. Not because you escaped the pain, but because you understood it. You honored the goodbye, you grieved consciously, and now, the universe is opening doors that only the bravest hearts are allowed to walk through. Doors of sacred connection, doors of emotional freedom, doors of soul-level love, the kind that doesn't require sacrifice to feel safe. So here's your final truth. This separation was never just about leaving someone else behind. It was about choosing yourself, your alignment, your light, your destiny. Final life lesson. The most powerful goodbyes are the ones that honor both the past and the future, with no blame, no fear, and no regret. You didn't lose anything, Leo. You made space for everything. Call to action. If this message spoke to your soul, leave a comment below with the words, "I release with grace." Let that be your activation, your conscious commitment to this next chapter. And don't forget to subscribe to Leo Zodiac Power, because this is just the beginning. In the next video, I'll reveal the exact type of soulmate connection you're now attracting and why it's unlike anything you've experienced before. Turn on the bell, share your truth in the comments. And remember, Leo, the world doesn't need a smaller version of you. It needs the one who had the courage to let go and shine anyway.